well. Uh, oh gosh. You know, I was making a joke the other day about, for so long now I've seen wine how it's sort of funny to me how the Canadians are so much better thinking about legalization and the future of the industry. Um, Obviously, we're becoming smarter to, holistic medications and things like that, and this sort of age into which we sort of forgot about them because they weren't as immediate and effective as some of our chemists came up with, because sometimes the best options take a lot of longer term, self-driven, intellectually based, or not intellectually, but intelligence to administer for the best results. Now with COVID-19, we're clearly about to unleash the it's not going to take all of us method going, but that's my jester side. Ultimately, we're creating a dual port for self-intelligence to rationalize within its community how to manifest a circumstance into which, through the immune, through the non-immune, through the healthy, through the non-healthy, through the young, through the old, what is most rational, and hopefully how to administer this through a communal and self-driven benefit for rectifying, as Neil deGrasse points out, if the world stops for even a second, could create quite a catastrophe. Now, he was talking about the rotation of our planet. We're all talking about the economy, and for good purpose, because it actually holds similar principles to the rotation of your literal mass called Earth. But, man, I knew Canada and Europe were responding to this so much more intelligently. But after watching a April 13th global national report from Canada, I was just like, how did I not get up to Canada? I just wanted to freely grow organic vegetables for a couple bucks for candy bars. 4 attempts gone wrong. Mostly over the GTA, I guess, but I was really only brung up once. The other times it was just kind of like, you look like a hobo with no money. What are you doing? You trying to get in on sucking our social system's teeth? No, I'm up here to grow vegetables for free. I mean, both are true, but I mean, frankly, I was so poor in America that I get free healthcare. I get, really good food stamps with tons of gas stations with tons of options. I live in a very wealthy economy with lots of very Christian Hispanic restaurant owners. So I'm actually pretty good. It was honestly to de-stress from circumstances, most and foremost, and to get in on a society which understands the medical principles of de-stressing. Anyways, man, though, Canadians are knocking it out of the park. I mean, I saw how the South Koreans were handling things, and, that was magnificent. They have a much smaller geographic space to deal with, though, and a lot of good supply chains very close by. But, yeah, Canadians really hitting it out of the park on this pandemic. But also in realizing and seeing how they have and how they will continue to handle it. Just, I can't help but see my own variables into which I have fallen a prey to some of the criticisms I have. And that's, one of the most important things. There's always different levels of how and where examples are created of dual judgment. Um, and sometimes you think you're in or out of the context of the gravity in terms of the sort of, I don't know, outermost variables of the atom. You as an electrode are gravitating within these contexts in terms of variable dishonesty amongst your community and yourself, theoretically. Did that make sense? Probably not. I'm not the best analogy creator. But anyways, I made a joke about it. Apparently I'm necessitative because, I'm making roads 90 hours a week. Honestly, I know I'm running a low risk for variable things, but, I'm sort of stuck into this, In Canada, there was a sort of humiliating circumstance into which they handled an elder care home, but not by choice. I mean, it was just a very much more aware community trying to promote a continuation of managing a situation where they hadn't been able to identify people who had been immune yet, thus managing a situation which seems sort of unmanageable in terms of not becoming a spreader or not dying from exposure. Quite difficult. I believe it was 31 deaths in 3 weeks in one elder home. Or maybe that was a community. I could have been confused by the representation. Anyways, yeah. Hopefully we come to a place into which we've been watching what we've been taught, rationalizing that through the optimism these economic variables have to be composed within. We are stringently and deliberately visceral about how critical what's being said in between the lines and how to most responsibly manage our decisions after May 1st. If the slightest part of the top of the curve suggests we let loose. Again, this is an inquisition into which is very difficult to imagine. I truly hope it's based upon the benevolent interest to allow society to make the most intelligent decisions, even though we can clearly see that's not completely going to happen. And now that it's possible that it's air-based without the mass being mass used, we still might pose an issue. But ultimately, I believe hopefully we'll figure out the best means to do so.